Why Facebook ads are sending you broke coaching prospects, and most importantly, how to fix it. So many coaches try Facebook ads because it is by far the single fastest, easiest, best place to get coaching clients. But the problem is it's not going to work if they're just broke and they're not going to buy. How do we fix this? Well, let's get into it, because the bottom line is Facebook has your audience. I've never met a coach that didn't have an audience on Facebook. And I've coached about 1,300 or more people over the years. And so, but the problem is how do you control the quality? How do you get more people who want to buy, more people who have more money, more people who can buy your most expensive stuff, more people who show up for your calls? How do you do that? Well, we have to fix the big three problems that a lot of coaches struggle with, that keeps them getting garbage quality leads and forces them to stop using Facebook and go back to referrals, word of mouth, all that other kind of stuff. And that's not going to scale your coaching business. If you want to get to 20, 30, 50, 100 plus thousand a month, we need an ad strategy that works. And after spending almost $3 million over the last 3 years on Facebook ads, I have a strategy. So let's talk about the first problem. The first problem is the wrong campaign setup, okay? Now, here's what I mean by that. There's so many ways you can set your campaign up, and Facebook likes to suggest ways, right? They're like, hey, let us set your campaign up. We'll just do it all for you. You don't do that. You always got to keep one eye open, because you always got to remember that the people who are taking your money and setting your campaign up, you got to be careful there, right? They're a great traffic source. I love it. But just their setup process is designed for any business. And the problem is you're not looking for cheap clicks. You're looking for qualified buyers who have money, right? Not just people who are going to buy a $20 book on Amazon or something like that, or buy an e-commerce product that you have for sale on your Etsy store or whatever. So the wrong campaign setup. What does this mean? Well, most coaches set their campaigns up for traffic or for engagement or all these other things. The way you set your campaign up is you want to get conversions or sales. There's two options there. What does that mean? Well, there's two parts to it, okay? The first part is you're going to set your campaign up to get you conversions, because we want Facebook to send you people who are most likely going to convert to a buyer. The second part of the conversions campaign is we want people who look like people who are registering, not clicking, okay? It's big difference here. So the first part is we're going to set your campaign up based on conversions. Second part of section 1 is, remember, there's 3 things we've got to do. This is part 2 of section 1. You want to tell Facebook to find you people who look like the people who are registering, not the people who are clicking. 2 totally different audiences. Facebook's going to go into their massive audience of database of people you've targeted and find the people who look like either one of the 2. People who are clicking, people who are registering. Which one do you want more of? Obviously people who are registering, right? But you got to remember, because of the audience size and your budget, they're only going to go after about 1% of people. So they're not going to go after a ton of people. It's going to be a pretty small amount. And so you want them to get the right people, because then when people register for your webinar, Facebook goes out and finds people who look like those people, people who look like those people, people who look like those people. And then they go into your audience and find more of those people. So it's like this circular circuit that gets better and better and better the more people who register. So that's the first thing we're going to fix. The second thing we got is wrong targeting. Coaches do this all the time, all the time. So what you need to understand is there's 3 levels of targeting. The first level is interest groups, like followers of Tony Robbins, followers of whoever, some guru, something like that. Just followers, right? So we got those people. The second type of audience is lookalike audience. So these are people who look like the people on your newsletter list. They look like the people who are your clients. And what you can do is you can extract those and you can actually upload them, and then you can get Facebook to go find the people who look like those people. And the third audience that is most common for coaches is what we call broad targeting. What broad targeting is, you're simply just targeting all of the country. So let's say you want to target America. You pick your age, gender, and just let it go. And it's going to run that ad to like 50 million people, that type of thing. So those are your 3 targeting audiences, and a lot of coaches screw these up. So let's talk about how to fix it real quick. when you're targeting people, what you want to do is you want to make sure it's layered properly, okay? You want to make sure that it's big enough, but not too big. See, most coaches are targeting like 80 million people, 50 million people, 40 million. You want your audience size to be 1 million. Because if your budget's 10, 20, 30 bucks a day, you can't go into an audience of 80 million people and find who you're looking for. It's like taking your fishing line and canoeing out in the middle of the ocean trying to find a fish. Like, that's a lot, right? And so when your audience is too big, the pixel can't really lock in because it's got such a small budget, such a big audience. So back to the fishing analogy. What do we want to do? Well, what we want to do is we want to it's like going into your backyard and having a fishing pond full of fish. All you got to do is go back there and be like, what are they biting today? What's working, right? In the fishing analogy, same thing here. Keep that audience super tight, and then what's going to, like 1 million, and then what's going to happen is you're going to be able to now just focus exclusively and get more of the qualified people. We're going to get to how to get more affluent people in a second. That's coming on the third part, but keep that audience tight. Now, before we get to the most important thing you need to do to get more qualified people, what I need you to do is click the subscribe button. Just hit subscribe. And what that's going to do, it's going to get you all my upcoming videos. I'm creating all kinds of videos. They're all free here on YouTube. And like I said, I've spent about $3 million over the last few years, 3 years on Facebook ads. And what I do is I share what I'm learning, what's working, tests we're doing, stuff that's not working, things you should know about getting coaching clients that's working now. And I share it all for free here on YouTube, tons of new videos. But the thing is, you're not going to get notified of any of them unless you hit that subscribe button. And the good news is, you never know if one of them might be the exact video you need to help your business get to the next level. So hit subscribe. Let's talk about the third thing we need to do. And the third biggest mistake coaches are making, wrong messaging. What does this mean? Well, here's the problem. What a lot of coaches are doing is they're doing, let's say your campaign set up right, your targeting set up right. They're targeting too broad in terms of their messaging. They're going into their audience and they're telling people, hey, are you looking to manifest your dreams and goals and make next year amazing and all that kind of stuff? Is so broad. And so what's happening is Facebook's going into your audience and just finding people who are clicking. They're like, I guess these are the people they want. So you need to tighten up that messaging. How? Well, what you want to do is be specific on the who. Who's got the money? Well, so if you're specific on who has the money, it's people who are affluent, people who are professionals, business owners, established people, stuff like that. So it's like, hey, are you a professional, six-figure earning professional working 50 plus hours a week, and you don't like your career anymore and you're trying to transition to something new, but you don't know how? Do you see how I did that? And the way I did that was I'm trying to call out the people I want. And then what's going to happen is Facebook's going to know you're getting those people. And so they're going to go into your audience and find more of the people who look like the people you're trying to reach. Does that make sense? And so we want to go super tight on the messaging and make sure it's super focused so that anybody who's not your ideal client is not going to want to click on it. That's what we need to do. Now, here's what I have for you. I have an upcoming webinar called the 300-word Facebook ad method that I've used to scale my coaching business over the years, and it's allowed me to attract over 1,300 clients. And so what I want you to do, click the link in the description or in the pinned post and watch that video or watch that upcoming webinar now, and it's going to show you the exact 3 steps that are working right now, how the AI can actually work to find you the right quality people, the 3 types of ads you need, and how 2 of them only need to spend $1 a day, what the biggest mistakes coaches are making, how to tell if your ad's going to work, how to be seen as the only option, and a lot more. There's a lot of stuff in this webinar, so what I want you to do is click the link and head over to that page, get registered for it, and we'll see you over there.